Welcome, Dark Warriors. This is Rumen. Be sure to appreciate this planet one last time because we won't be here for a while. Anyway, jump in the ship. Skip these cutscenes by pressing triangle. And now we're going to go back to Aridia. So here's our Metropolis check log. We got all the gold bolts and skill points there. Here's the Novalis check log. And now let's go to Aridia. This is one of my favorite planets personally. I really like Aridia. I think it's a very underrated planet. Aridia. Listen to this music. It's very funky. Something cool about this game's soundtrack that I didn't mention yet, because I think it's good to notice it on your own than have it be pointed out to you, is that the music in this game is dynamic. So depending on what path you go down on different planets, the music will change and adapt to wherever you're at. So on Novalis, the path that led to the plumber had different music than the path that led to the chairman of the planet. So that's pretty cool. Also, another reason why I like this planet so much is because look at how cool Clank looks on this planet. Like, I love how his green eyes glow in the dark and how the red dot on his antenna also glows in the dark of this planet. Very cool looking. You can also see Ratchet's cufflink there glow in the dark. Very cool looking game. Anyway, let's take a moment to appreciate this planet for a second. Very pretty. All right, let's get a move on. Here we have the blaster. Be sure to buy that. Very good weapon right here. Very powerful. Very long range. This is a weapon you'll use throughout the entire game. Look at that. It doesn't stagger enemies, but despite that, it's still like really powerful. It's one of the highest damage per second weapons in the game. So it's very useful against boss fights. Spoiler alert, this game has boss fights. So, see, you killed that guy in like a second. Very good, very underrated. You can aim it better like this. It has a little reticle that appears on enemies if it's in the range. So, like that. This is actually one of my favorite weapons in the game. I think it's very fun to use, very useful, very good price. This thing is only 2,500 bolts. That is a steal. There are weapons later in the game that cost more than that are worse than this weapon. So be sure to appreciate this weapon. The developers really threw us a bone with this weapon. They could have made it 7,000 bolts like later weapons, but no, this one, only 2,500. Very good price. Very powerful, very useful. You know, be sure to appreciate it. Be sure to cherish it. And yeah, just a very awesome weapon right there. Very underrated weapon. In my opinion, it's definitely one of the best weapons in the game. Top 5 at least. So over here, elevator here. Did I get all the bolts? No, I did not. Want to click these bolts over here. Get some ammo here. Also, you get a lot of ammo from crates with this weapon. You get 25 every time you pick up ammo, so boom, 25. That is so generous. It has 200 ammo and you get 25 out of every crate. That's like really awesome. All right, so the reason why we saved Aridia for now and not when we first unlocked it, the reason why I went to Kerwan first is because you could not do this path. We did it earlier. We got the hook shot from Kerwan. Now we can take this path over here using the hook shot. Very cool. Very Metroidvania. We can explore more paths if we come to planets at different points in the game. If you go to certain planets too early, then you won't be able to do some paths because, you know, you won't have certain gadgets or weapons to make it through properly. So yeah, we're gonna do this planet in one foul swoop instead of needing to revisit it over and over again. Throw your wrench there to break all those explosive crates. Very satisfying. The hook shot there. Can't really see that one unless you point your camera up at it. all these crates here. Took some damage there, but no need to worry because you have 4 different hits in this game, so pretty generous with all these bolts. All right, here's another skill point. This one can be very tricky for new time players, so you want to make it through this entire section without touching the ground. Also, let's take a second to appreciate how cool this room looks. Very cool looking room. Anyway, all right, hook shot, spin, hook shot. There we go. And that is the next skill point. Do not be too upset if that takes you a few tries. I remember it took me a few tries my first, time playing the game. So yeah, no shame in doing that over and over again if you mess it up. Yes, hell yeah. I like how in this game, Ratchet will like pick up the gadget and he'll say yes, or I got it, or something like that. In the later Ratchet & Clank games, he doesn't do that anyway. I'm not a hater, by the way. I really like the later Ratchet & Clank games. I'm just pointing out things that this game does because in recent years, this game has fallen off in popularity. People like the newer Ratchet & Clank games, but this Ratchet & Clank game has things unique to it that are very cool that the later Ratchet & Clank games don't do, despite maybe not being as polished as some later Ratchet & Clank games.
Lasers are mounted on each ring of the Invincilock. Aim the lasers at the receptors on the outside ring to turn them green. All receptors must be green before the Invincilock will open.
So these puzzles get pretty tricky later, but right now you just want to position these so all the lights turn green like that. Explosive crates there, a lot of money. Nice. I have around 3,000 bolts right now. You should have a similar-ish amount if you're using this as a walkthrough. Always good to have more than that. I haven't really been collecting as many bolts as I should, but that's fine. The bolt economy in this game is, strict but manageable, very manageable. All right, now we're going to go over here down this path. A shortcut I always like to do is I always like to just jump off here. There we go. Got a nice shortcut there. Skip that section. There are some enemies there and some bolts to collect, but I just like skipping it because that's just what I like to do. Satisfying to skip it. Pyrocitor, because the Pyrocitor is freaking broken in this game. Of course, you gotta use the Pyrocitor. Use it to kill these enemies. And get some ammo out of crates. 25 blaster ammo. Very generous. The developers did not have to do 25 of those. They could have just given us 15 and it would have still been very generous. Hit you. The enemy right there. These enemies look really cool. I like how their green eyes and green chest plate glow in the dark, and I love how the flame here glows. Very cool. Also, I like how the flame illuminates the area. So if you use the Pyrocitor, you can see the Pyrocitor's flame like lights up the wall next to it, and it lights up the floor. Very cool. Alright, we're gonna go over here. Break these crates. A lot of bolts right there. Jump, jump, jump. I have a funny story about Ratchet & Clank 3 where I had like a huge roadblock of one of these ladders in Ratchet & Clank 3, but we're not playing Ratchet & Clank 3 right now. Anyway, up over here, then over here. We have a secret little area over here, and there is a shiny thing in the distance. Let's go acquire that. There we go. I really like the camera angle or the camera movement on that specific gold bolt there. Like the camera pans a little bit and it looks really cinematic. Different gold bolts in this game have different camera angles, which is pretty interesting. I'm gonna go over here. Also, another reason why I like doing this planet after Kerwan is because you could not get that gold bolt if you didn't have the helipack, which you acquire in Kerwan, and you can't get these very convenient ammo refills here because you need the helipack to get that as well. So, yeah, very good idea to do this planet after Kerwan.
No signal whatsoever. This downtime is killing me. Do you need medical attention, sir?
Don't be so literal, son. The problem is I'm stranded on this backwater planet and my star client is nowhere to be found.
Hey, we saw you on that info bot. You're Skidd's agent.
Was Skidd's agent. Haven't seen him since our ship crashed. And an agent without a client is like a flea without a dog. Say, you look like an athletic kid. If you can bring back the championship prize from the hoverboard races in Blackwater City, I'll make you my next star.
We have no time for trivial matters, sir.
I could be the next Skidd McMarks.
If you want to impress this agent, you'll have to win a hoverboard race. The nearest hoverboard race is in Blackwater City on planet Rilgar.
There we go. I was waiting for that text box to come up. Anyway, yep, bring prize to hoverboard. From the hoverboard races. We have not seen those yet, but the hoverboard races in this game are pretty fun. They're pretty cool and very tough. If I do say so myself, some of the hardest skill points in the game on those hover bike races later. But we'll be getting into that later. So that is Aridia. I'm just joking. There's more to this planet. This planet is not that short. So we go over here. This next path over here. I wonder if you can stand on this ship. Yes, you can. All right, this path over here.
It's him, Skidd McMarks.
That man from the infobot.
In the flesh, little dude. You guys get a load of that epic space battle I was in?
We saw you, screaming for help.
That was like a war cry. My agent and I got ambushed on the way to hoverboard practice.
Did he survive the crash, sir?
He's okay, but I've had a little trouble getting back to my ship due to my sprained ankle.
Oh, come on.
If you can take out all the sand sharks, I just might have a spare hoverboard for you.
We'd love to help you, Mr. McMarks, but Ratchet and I need to find Captain...
One of your boards? I've always wanted a decent hoverboard. Well, all right. You just keep that foot elevated.
Yeah, this planet is not story important. This is basically a prep planet for later planets. So on this planet, we get the Trespasser, which we need for later. And we're also going to get the hoverboard, which we need for later on this planet. So that's what we're here for. I mean, that's not why we came here. We came here to rescue Skidd and his agent. But right now, we just have to get these useful progression items that just happen to be on this planet. Kind of like a quirk of fate that we come to this random backwater planet, and it has very useful stuff on it for us to help us save the galaxy. So I don't know, it's like there's some kind of greater power at work or something. Anyway, bomb this wall right here. That is right here on the map, in this corner over here. Then boom, another gold bolt. See, this gold bolt's camera is a lot lower than the other gold bolt, and that one like zooms away from Ratchet. It's really cool. I like how different gold bolts in this game have different camera angles and stuff. I keep bonking into these walls because I'm bad. I really like the helipack in this game. It's really fun to control. So it's a lot like more weighty than later Ratchet and Clank games. This Ratchet and Clank game controls a lot like floatier and a lot heavier than the later Ratchet and Clank games, but I like that. I like how this game controls a lot. People say this game aged poorly because of how the later Ratchet and Clank games control. No, I disagree with that. I think this game aged very well. It feels different than the later Ratchet and Clank games, but it does feel just as good, just in a different way. So you have to break these squishy little pod things, because these infinitely respawn these little buggers, and you have to kill all the sand sharks, because these sand sharks are blocking Skidd from getting back to his ship, and we came here to rescue Skidd, who's a celebrity, I guess. It's funny, Clank is like, we have to help those people, but Ratchet's like, no, let's see what they have to offer us if we save them. That's pretty funny. Like, Clank is more concerned because he saw two people crash land on this planet, but Ratchet's like, no, they're probably fine. Oh wait, he has a hoverboard. Okay, I'll help you now. So it goes a lot about their characters. Like, Ratchet is a very controversial character in this game, but like I said earlier, I like Ratchet a lot. I like Ratchet in this game. I like Ratchet as a character a lot, personally speaking. So there you go. Kill all those pods. And am I missing a sand shark? No, I'm not. There we go.
Here, man. Catch.
A brand new Z3000. You can't even buy these.
Well, I got a bail. Catch you dudes at the hoverboard races.
You've just acquired a Gadgetron Z3000 hoverboard. Use your new hoverboard at the racetrack in Blackwater City on planet Rilgar.
There's the help desk message. I love how excited Ratchet is in that cutscene. He's like, dude, I got a brand new Z3000. Oh, I love it. I wish he acted like that more in the later Ratchet & Clank games. In the later Ratchet & Clank games, he doesn't really get so excited like that. If you go to your items, you can see it here. This is the hoverboard. It is for hoverboard races. It is the first item that you can acquire in this game. I'm gonna let that entire text box scroll in case anybody wants to read it. You do a combination of tricks. It's funny that they tell us about the tricks because those aren't useful right now. Those don't really do anything at the current moment. They'll do things later when you're racing, but on your first race, pressing the trigger buttons to do tricks does not do anything. But we'll be getting to that later. I'm gonna run around and break these crates. And before we get a move on, let's just appreciate this right here. Let's appreciate this crashed pod. Very cool looking. I love the green smoke coming out there. I love the green parts of the ship, how they glow in the dark. Very cool looking. I love the little yellow sparks that spark. Very cool looking. In this game, be sure to, pause every once in a while to look around and appreciate your scenery. Be sure to appreciate the background planets in this game. Got a planet there, got a planet over there. Very cool looking scenery. All right, okay, now let's get a move on with this game, shall we? Let's go over here. And that is all there is to do on Aridia at the moment. All right, now let's go to Eudora. Meanwhile, we're Executive Chairman Drek's flagship.
Yes, quite lovely. That should just about do it. Commander, we are finished with this world. Commence towing our planet to its next destination. Lieutenant!
Yes, sir.
You have fulfilled your tree quota. Barely.
We are ready to return to base.
Not so fast, Lieutenant. Just because we don't need any more trees doesn't mean they should have them. Destroy everything.
So if you noticed, Drek had more labels. It said aboard Chairman Drek's something. He had more labels. When he first appeared, his title was only Chairman Drek, but now he's Supreme Chairman Drek. That implies that he's gaining power throughout the game. A little attention to detail there. All right, Eudora. I love the butterflies fly on this planet. Very cool. Look at those butterflies. All right, and that's Aridia. Thank you so much for watching, Dark Warriors. Next time we'll be doing this planet, this very underrated planet. And yeah, thanks for watching.